Georgia legislators pass heartbeat bill that would ban most abortions. Georgia state legislators on Friday passed one of the nation's most restrictive abortion bills, which would prohibit the termination of a pregnancy after a fetal heartbeat is detected as early as 6 weeks, before many women know they're pregnant. The vote came shortly after State Republic Ed Setzler R. Government Brian Kemp R. Governor Kemp, if you sign this abortion ban into law, we will sue and see you in court to fight this blatant attack on the rights and dignity of Georgia women and families, the organization said in a statement. The bill attracted national attention and prompted fierce protests from abortion rights advocates, as Setzler called for Republicans to pass the measure so that Kemp can recruit the best legal team in the nation to gut the 1973 Supreme Court decision Indiana Roe v. Wade, which, the legislation narrowly made it through the Georgia House on Friday, receiving 92 votes, one more than it needed to pass. 78 Rep. The Georgia Senate passed earlier this month on a party line vote. Setzler said common sense Georgians had prevailed. This bill recognizes the fundamental life of the child in the womb is worthy of legal protection, he said. Activists rallied at the State House to protest the legislation, chanting shame and dissent while clad in the red cloaks and white bonnets of characters in The Handmaid's Tale, a book and TV series that depicts a dystopian future where women are enslaved to rear children. The protesters have, on the other side, some opponents of abortion have said the bill is not strict enough. The executive director, we are saddened that the bill discriminates against classes of innocent human beings, Fleck wrote. The day before the vote, U.S. Republic Lucy McBath, other prominent advocates including Stacey Abrams, a rising star on the left who unsuccessfully ran for Georgia governor in 2018, and Hollywood activists such as Alyssa Milano used social media throughout the week to ask legislators to reject the restrictions in Georgia. Labor organizer, after the vote, more cries of shame echoed in the chamber. This is an all-out assault on the reproductive health and safety of Georgia women, said Laura Simmons, the Georgia director for the abortion rights group NARAL Pro-Choice America. This cruel. Those looking to expand access to abortions said they were alarmed that Setzler was also pushing to establish personhood for fetuses, granting full legal protection to fetuses and, critics say, putting those rights before the rights of women. The bill includes Georgia is one of at least 11 states, including to introduce heartbeat bills this year. Steve Aden, Chief Legal Officer of American United for Life, which describes itself as America's oldest pro-life legal advocacy group, said that while he understands the deeply held convictions of the state legislatures, no heartbeat bill has ever saved a life or held up in court. What we tell our members is to focus on bills that are productive and save lives, like making sure women are taught more about abortions before they have one, Aden said. I think we need to. Conservative and religious groups have said they hope a flood of state-led legislation largely from the South and Midwest will push the Supreme Court to reconsider the ruling in Roe v. Wade. But lower courts have quickly struck down the measures. This month, another federal judge overturned a state law prohibiting abortion after the 20th week of pregnancy, which is Georgia's current law, calling the ban unconstitutional. Also this week, in Mississippi, to enact a fetal heartbeat law, abortion rights supporters filed a lawsuit challenging the ban. The Center for Let's Call This Law What It Is a near total ban on abortion, Nancy Northup, the group's president and CEO, told the Washington Post. We will keep taking. Georgia State Senior Nikema Williams, I trust women to make the decision that's right for them and their families, she said. I vow to stand with
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park, pot.